Hey y'all, check it out. 100,000 views on YouTube. My channel's blowing up a little bit. I'm having a good time and I thank you for watching. Can't do it without you. I just been cooking for 50 plus years. I'm like, I might as well just do some YouTube videos and show people how to cook. So I do easy, quick, and delicious. Cook for a lot of people most of the time. So I have a lot of experience. Why not share it? Even Vinny likes it. Check him out. He watches my YouTube channel and you should too. Hit that subscribe button and that notification. You won't miss any episodes. That's what Vinny here did. He doesn't miss any of my cooking shows. So let's get cooking. I'm going to do a little special series on some eggs. My tips and tricks on how to do that, especially in cast iron. Works in any kind of skillet. So let's get underway and get cooking. Just fire up that cast iron skillet, get it hot, and you always learn something new. I just learned that if you use heavy whipping cream, so I busted an egg in this bowl and I put some whipping cream in there, and we're gonna make a fluffy egg. So the key to cast iron cooking eggs is have your skillet preheated. That's a big thing. You don't want it real hot, you just want it preheated, so it's even. So let's throw these in there. You always want to use a little bit of fat. I use oil and sometimes butter. So today's butter. Throw that butter in there, and since these are scrambled, we're gonna run it around the edges. So let's just throw these in here. And pour them in the center. And move them around. Since I didn't have the skillet on real long, the handle's not super hot. So you just want these eggs to start heating up. If you got a little bit of a cold spot, just slide your pan around. But you can see it doesn't stick at all. I don't know why everybody has problems with cooking eggs in cast iron. I think it's because you're not heating your pan before you put your eggs in. As you can see, slides right around. If you want your scrambled eggs to be fluffy, here's another trick. You don't want to stir these up. You want to kind of fold them over themselves. Just keep folding them over. And you'll have some pretty scrambled eggs. But look how that slides around there. Nothing to it. Just do a little flip. And that's how you have nice, fluffy scrambled eggs. So if you want to chop them, you can chop them. I usually just leave them as one piece. I know I talk about this on my channel a lot, but I love this thing for cooking eggs and things like that. I think it's a fish fillet spatula. It doesn't harm the cast iron because it's not cutting into it. And you can just flip these over a few times. Make sure they're done. That looks like some pretty good scrambled eggs to me. Let's get them babies on this plate. Look at that. Oh boy, those are fluffy. Just pulled them scrambled eggs off. Look how fluffy those are. I mean, those are fluffy. That's the trick. One of many tricks. I don't know, there might have been 3 tricks in this one little cooking egg thing, because we had the whipped cream, we had the don't have your pan too hot, and we had the do a flip instead of a stir. So that's a scrambled egg and a couple tips on how to get her done. The Cooking with Bob way. I cracked 1 egg. Let's get some tips and tricks on frying an egg in a cast iron skillet, or any skillet for that matter. It all applies. Cast iron's a little more difficult, or you need to learn. I wouldn't say difficult. Just need to learn how to use it. Here again, just have your skillet on warm, more on the low side. I always try to drop it right in the center. And just put that egg in there. Here again with that fried egg, just put it on low, just a smidge above low heat. You don't want to get too far to medium, more towards the low side. And then it won't stick, it won't scorch, it'll slide around on your cast iron skillet. Here's another tip. This white, if you just kind of pull it away from the yellow yolk, it'll help it cook. Some lady taught me this trick many years ago. You just pull that out like that. Oop, I made a hole, just patch it up. But that's my trick for doing eggs. It works on anything. Cast iron, a regular skillet, on your flat stone, black stone, whatever you have. It's just an easy way to make sure that white part gets done. You can drag it. That's another tip. A lot of times I do that. Just drag it off to the edge. You can do it that way as well. See there? And here again, look at that. If I wanted to, I could do the skillet flip, but I'm not going to do that today. So let's see if I can get under this yolk and give her a flip. Now, when I first flip it like that, I don't move it for a couple seconds because I don't want it to fall apart. And then as it's starting to set up, you can make sure it's okay. And that's so slippery. Look at that. Nothing to it. Just don't get hot. And there you have a over medium egg. Hit that subscribe button and that notification. You won't miss any episodes. That's what Vinny here did. Let's do some more eggs. We're going to whip these up, 2 eggs, and we're going to make this a 2-egg omelet. That's what we're doing right now. So here again, a nice little trick for that. Add yourself a little bit of fat, which in this case is heavy whipping cream. Not a lot. I don't know, a couple tablespoons. That'll fluff them up a little bit. And you just want to do the back and forth. Don't stir. Back and forth. You'll add air into the eggs, and it'll help make them fluffy. Let me get these stirred up. So once you have these stirred up, back and forth, you can see there's no clumpies. So let's get them in that cast iron skillet. And because you're doing an omelet, hopefully I don't have the pan too hot. Looks kind of hot. We'll see what happens. You want to get the edges too. Move that around a little bit. And dump these beautiful eggs in here. I usually just kind of go slow. Hear that sizzle. Let them eggs find their own level. If you got a low spot, fill it in. Now this looked like it was getting too hot. You can just take it off. You can move it. That's an easy way to let it cool down a little bit if you get it too hot. Another trick that I use on the side that's cooking, which is over here, I just drag this up to the edge. So you can move this around this way, and that'll allow you to get all of this cooked. Hopefully my pan's not too hot. So you can do it that way as well. And just kind of move it to where it's cooking the quickest. Done without having to try to flip this whole big egg, because it is difficult to try to flip the entire egg. I don't like doing that. I can sometimes do it. It's easier on a flat top, obviously, because you can get your spatula under there and a cast iron skillet. You can always dig a hole here. Sometimes do that and pull it into the hole. Get rid of some of the extras. A lot of different ways to do this. Just some of the things that I've figured out over the years. So we're getting pretty close, I think. Put a little bit more over here. You can run it up the side like a little bit like a pie crust. It's the beauty of cast iron. The whole pan gets hot. I just like to try to get this all cooked so you don't have any runny eggs in your omelet. I just have a couple pieces of sausage here. Usually what I try to do is I put it on the side that didn't look like it was cooked as much. So this looks like it's not cooked as much. So you can put your sausage there. I just have some Colby Jack cheese. Yeah, I always put the heavier amount because you can't have too much cheese, right? I always put it on the side with contents, and then maybe just do a little sprinkle on the other side. Loosen the edge with this cool spatula, fish turner. Make sure it looks like it's going to come loose, which it surely will. It always does. I always do all the way around. Still have some that's not quite set up yet, but you can see I'm kind of dragging that just to check it. If it's too soft, you're just going to break, so you might as well wait a second. And if you don't like scorched eggs, then yeah, probably should start flipping it about now. And then of course this part that's not cooked, you can pull it to the side. But this is all cooked, so I think we're ready. So the nice part about this curved end is I can get under there. Hopefully. Looks like I might have it. Huh. Yep, got a little scorch in the center. I was worried about that because I was talking to you, showing you all these tips. But that's fine. I don't mind them that way, personally. Some people hate it. But let me know in the comments. Does that bother you? You like it? You don't care? I don't care. I don't like them burned, but... And then I usually just let that set a second. That'll help melt that cheese. Get under the whole thing. And hopefully one more flip. Look at that beauty. And there you have some beautiful omelet tips and tricks. That's how I do mine. And we want to try to get the majority of this supported. I just put the round side towards the round side of the plate. I just think it looks better. And we'll turn this off. Look at that beautiful omelet. I talked a little bit much and I did get a little brown, but hey, that's what happens when you're making YouTube videos. I could have cracked a couple more eggs and did it without talking so much or thinking about it, but hey, I don't mind them that way. Let me know in the comments, how do you think? A little bit of brown on an egg doesn't bother me. I think it tastes fine. So there's a tip and tricks. That was a lot of tips and tricks on the omelets. So hopefully these things help you. You know, I'm just an average guy, just liking to have fun doing these YouTube videos. I've literally cooked for over 50 years, probably 40 of them in cast iron, and I kind of got it down. I wasted a lot of food along the way. Don't you waste your food. You subscribe, you like, and hit that notification bell, and then you can check out my stuff. I like to cook, and we could be cooking together. Once again, thanks, 100,000 plus views. It's all because of you folks. And you know, I always like to try my own food. So I'm going to just hit it with a little Tony's on this omelet here. A little cheese and a little sausage. What do you think? Yeah, a little bit more. I like spicy, peppery stuff. We busted off a big old piece. Oh, here's one that got away. Just grab yourself, jab that baby. Look at that, how fluffy because of that heavy whipping cream, and take yourself a big old bite. Man, is that good. Well, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to have some breakfast. And as always, I appreciate you. Can't believe I made it to 100,000 plus views, and it's all because of you guys. Heartfelt thanks. Have a great day.